It is one of Disney's most beloved movies, and it comes alive as a musical on stage at the Paramount Theater.
Aladdin, it's already in town. It runs through next weekend, and tickets are still available, not for tonight, but for the rest of the weekend into next weekend. And this morning, we're joined by one of the stars. His name is Darryl Rivera, who is from Seattle.
That's right.
And who plays Iago. This is like the Gilbert Gottfried part from the movie. This is pretty big shoes to fill. What's it like? Well, first of all, just coming back and playing in front of your hometown.
It's so great. So I'm the original Iago from Seattle. I originated it on Broadway, and I'm back in my hometown, and it's so fantastic. Seattle is such a theatrical savvy town that the audiences have been so good here, and my cast members have been noticing that, and I've had people at every show, and it's really great to see my friends and perform something that I perform on Broadway every night, 8 times a week, here in my hometown.
So you're doing this role on Broadway, but you were able to take over the role here in Seattle, right? Because this is your hometown.
Yeah, and I love this show so much. This is my dream job, so the fact that I can play here in Seattle in Aladdin, it's just awesome.
So tell us about what it's like to play this role. I mean, you got to really, it's the comic relief.
That's right.
The show.
So it's an iconic part. I mean, nobody will ever forget what Gilbert Gottfried sounds like. And so the creative team actually gave me a lot of license to kind of play within the spirit of Gilbert Gottfried from the movie, but also take a new spin on it. Like, I'm not a parrot in the show. I'm actually a human, so that I can hold things. You know, I don't have wings, and I don't have to fly around, which is fantastic. Yeah, so it still has the spirit of Iago from the film, but it's a brand new invention of Iago.
And I'm always curious, you talked about playing in front of your friends, that if, as actors on stage, can you tell, does it throw you off if you see somebody that knew you back when you were 6 years old? Are you able to stay in character? Do you ignore the audience? How do you do
Well, I acknowledge the audience because they tell me what they want in terms of laughing at jokes. If I know that I have friends in the audience, I get really nervous. If it's a room full of literally 3,000 strangers, I'm totally fine. It's like another day.
I can totally relate.
Yeah, right, right. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like, nobody show up for anything.
That's right.
So kind of peel back the curtain on this show for us. If we were to see the show, anything that audiences should pay attention to or that you're really excited about?
The magic carpet. I watch it every single night. It is the most beautiful thing. In terms of modern musicals, it's the most beautiful scene I've ever seen in my entire life, and it really is magic.
Wow. Yeah, our producer just said he doesn't know how you guys.
I don't know either.
It's top secret.
Yeah, Disney magic.
But it really just leaves you walking away going, wow.
Yeah,
magic. It's magic.
Yeah, people and you'll hear people sniffling in the audience because they know this song from their childhood or their early adulthood, and they see literally this beautiful love story unfolding on a magic carpet, and people, it touches people. It's so cool.
My parents are taking my daughter next week, I think on Wednesday night, and everybody's super excited about it. I'm curious, just I got to go to New York City earlier this year and saw a Broadway show, the one with Josh Groban in it, and just for you as someone who's growing up that wants to be on a big stage, to make it to Broadway, what is it like? Do you pinch yourself every time you walk out there before you walk on stage? Every
time. I mean, every time I cross that proscenium onto the stage, I count my lucky stars. And I have a really kind of unique way of getting to Broadway because I was a local hire in the 2011 production here in Seattle. They wanted to test out the material at the 5th Avenue to see if Aladdin worked on stage, and it did. And Disney saw that there was literal magic happening in the audiences, so they said, hey, let's redesign the entire show and bring it to Broadway. So in 2013, I literally got a call and they said, hey, it's Disney. Do you want to come to Broadway? Come along. We want you to play Iago. Wow. And I literally didn't have to leave my front door to get to Broadway. So I'm so lucky, and I acknowledge that every single night.
And people watching right now might recognize you because if you obviously go to theater locally, they might have seen you in productions like myself. I've seen you at the Seattle Children's Theater.
That's right. That's my theatrical home. I worked at Seattle Children's Theater. I worked at the Intiman, Teatro Zinzani. I've worked all over Seattle, and I've started working all over the country, but Seattle is my home. The theater community here is fantastic. I'm actually nominated this year for my work in Man of La Mancha at the 5th Avenue I did last year. Thank you very much. Yes, I bought a sequin blazer just to wear for the ceremony, so we'll see if I win. I hope I win.
Well, I hope you're having fun in your hometown. I was reading your Twitter page, and you made a joke about how you when you come home, it's like you get all these pictures and memories and all these things about when you go back to your parents' house.
Oh yeah, yeah. I literally have like 50 pictures for the next like TBTs and Way Back Wednesdays. Yeah, I'm really excited.
I can relate to that.
We're so excited for your success, Darryl Rivera. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
you
you
can
guys.
catch him in Aladdin again at the Paramount. Tickets are still available.
And we'll be right back after this.